Material in this video contains content included in the RBT Test Content Outline, 3rd edition, TCO. D.5. Implement positive and negative punishment procedures. D.6. Describe secondary effects of extinction and punishment. Annie is a newly certified RBT, working with a 4-year-old client named Jay. Annie is providing ABA sessions to Jay 2 times per week. Jay engages in frequent disruptive behaviors, like throwing toys, when denied access to preferred items. Today's session focuses on reducing this behavior using natural consequences while reinforcing alternative behaviors. Jay reaches for Annie's tablet, which is a restricted item during therapy that Jay typically earns for paying attention and following instructions during ABA therapy. "Tablet, please," she prompts. Instead of asking for the tablet, Jay throws a toy across the room. Annie remains calm and implements a planned response that is part of Jay's behavior reduction plan. "Oops, throwing means no tablet," she says neutrally, removing the tablet from Jay's reach. She then redirects Jay to a visual communication card and verbally prompts him to request the tablet using his words. "If you want the tablet, you can ask with words or your communication card." Jay eventually points to the tablet card on his communication board. Annie says, "Nice asking, Jay," and she immediately provides brief tablet access as positive reinforcement for Jay's requesting behavior. Over time, Jay learns that throwing toys leads to losing access to his favorite things, while requesting with words and picture communication gains access to what he wants. By consistently applying these principles, Annie helps Jay replace problem behaviors, like throwing, with functional communication. Through data tracking and consistency, Jay's throwing behavior decreases, showcasing how ABA strategies help reduce maladaptive behaviors while effectively teaching new skills. Now that you understand how reinforcement strengthens behavior, let's talk about its opposite. Punishment. RBTs need to know how punishment works, when it's used, and what to watch out for, especially when it comes to client safety and dignity. Punishment is a principle of behavior used to decrease the future occurrence of a specific behavior. This happens when a consequence is delivered immediately after the behavior, either by adding something unpleasant or taking away something the client enjoys. While punishment may stop a behavior quickly, it does not teach a new, effective behavior to take its place and can lead to unwanted side effects. The purpose of punishment, in applied behavior analysis, is to reduce behaviors that interfere with learning or safety. RBTs may use positive punishment, which is adding an aversive stimulus after a behavior occurs, or negative punishment, which is removing a preferred item or activity right after the behavior occurs. Punishment should only be used after careful planning and collaboration with the entire ABA team, and always alongside reinforcement for new replacement behaviors. Punishment may work in the short term, but it doesn't always lead to lasting change. One limitation is that if it's not used consistently, the problem behavior may return or even get worse. In addition, because punishment doesn't teach a replacement behavior, the client might try different ways to meet their needs, which can sometimes be less effective for them or even harmful. ABA teams must follow ethical guidelines when using punishment. It should only be used when absolutely necessary and never on its own. Harsh or excessive punishment can lead to fear, aggression, or emotional harm. That's why behavior analysts first recommend using only reinforcement-based strategies and use punishment procedures only as part of a larger, in-depth positive support plan.
Punishment doesn't work the same way for every client or in every situation. There are several important factors that affect how well punishment works and whether it should be used at all. Let's go over each one to make sure punishment procedures are always used safely and effectively. Timing matters. Punishment is most effective when it is delivered immediately after the behavior. Immediate consequences are more likely to influence future behavior, because the response-consequence relation is clear and direct. When there is a delay before the punishment consequence is delivered, Other behaviors may occur before the punishment consequence happens, weakening the effect of punishment on decreasing the target behavior. Consistency across responses. For punishment to reduce a behavior, it must be delivered every time the target behavior occurs. Inconsistent delivery may result in intermittent reinforcement, which can strengthen the behavior instead of decreasing it. Consistent punishment strengthens the response-consequence relation and increases the likelihood of successful behavior reduction. Effective, not excessive intensity. The intensity of the punishing stimulus must be sufficient to reduce the future frequency of the behavior, but not so strong that it causes physical or emotional harm. If the stimulus is too weak, the behavior may persist. If it is too intense, it may produce unwanted side effects, such as escape behavior, aggression, or generalized suppression of other behaviors. Reinforce alternative responses. Punishment is more effective when clients have access to alternative responses that produce reinforcement. RBTs should teach and reinforce functionally equivalent replacement behaviors that serve the same purpose as the behavior being punished. This increases the likelihood of behavior change that is both effective and socially valid. Assess reinforcement. When a behavior continues to produce strong reinforcement, adding punishment will be unlikely to decrease its future frequency. The ABA team must identify the maintaining reinforcers for the problem behavior and ensure that this reinforcement is no longer provided. Ethical use of punishment. RBTs and BCBAs must follow ethical guidelines by using the least intrusive and most positive interventions first. If punishment is included in a behavior plan, it must be clearly defined, monitored for effectiveness, and used only with appropriate consent and supervision. The goal is always to support meaningful behavior change, while protecting the client's dignity and well-being. Key takeaways for implementing positive and negative punishment procedures. What punishment means. Punishment is a behavior reduction procedure that decreases future occurrences of a behavior by adding or removing a stimulus. It must only be used when clearly defined in a behavior plan and implemented consistently by trained RBTs under BCBA supervision. How to use punishment. Punishment procedures must be applied immediately and every time the target behavior occurs. RBTs must collect data, follow the behavior plan exactly, and reinforce appropriate replacement behaviors to promote lasting change. Watch for side effects. Punishment can produce secondary effects, such as emotional distress, aggression, or escape and avoidance behaviors. RBTs should monitor clients closely and immediately report any increases in problem behavior to the BCBA. Ethics and consent. All punishment procedures must follow ethical guidelines and be used only after reinforcement-based strategies have been tried. Informed consent must be obtained from the client or their caregiver, and the BCBA must approve, write, and supervise the intervention to ensure client dignity and safety. Reinforce replacement behaviors. Punishment alone is not enough to create meaningful behavior change. RBTs must consistently reinforce functionally equivalent behaviors to teach clients new, more effective ways to get their needs met. When used ethically and thoughtfully, punishment procedures can help reduce harmful behaviors and open the door to learning and connection. As an RBT, you may support a client using response cost on a token board to reduce off-task behavior, or assist with a timeout procedure to decrease hitting or kicking. But more importantly, you're helping that client learn to stay engaged during meaningful activities, participate in ABA sessions, and build skills that last a lifetime. With your support, clients learn how to ask for help, use social skills, and build friendships that bring them lifelong joy. Your consistency, care, and professionalism change lives every day. Thank you for all that you do. Keep teaching with compassion and purpose.